Hello everybody, it's Dio from Firm But Fair Gaming bringing you another video. Enjoying all the videos and content we produce, don't forget to click on that subscribe button, click on that like button, and don't be afraid to share. Don't forget to click on the notification button, customize it however you want, but that way you're notified whenever we publish another video. Hello everyone, welcome to another Diablo 3 video. Today we are taking a look at the remake of the Raekor set for Barbarian here in Season 26. So they have tweaked it, made it a lot better. It is actually pushing very well, on par with the Monk in a build, which was also pushing very well. These are the top two so far in solo pushes. And so just to recap what the set bonuses are for this set are as follows. So the two-piece is Furious Charge refunds a charge if it hits only one enemy. Four-piece Fierce Charge gains the effect of every rune and deals 1,000% increased damage for every 1% life you are missing, and the damage of your Ancient Spear is increased by 2%. And the six pieces, hitting enemies with Fierce Charge or Weapon Throw increases the damage of your next Ancient Spear by 5,500% and causes it to release multiple spears from its target. This effect stacks, and each spear consumes a maximum of 5 stacks. So basically, you're going to either charge into a group or stand at range and do your weapon throw like this, and then you're going to, I don't have rage, but when you throw your spear, it's basically hurl a big boulder and it's going to deal massive amounts of damage and blow everything up. First time I tried this, I instantly loved it. It was a lot of fun, and I can see like it's just going to be addicting on speed runs in particular, where you can just basically clear massive stacks all at once. Obviously, when you get higher up, things are going to have more health and it'll be a little bit more challenging. But I see this being a lot of fun. For the items, what you're going to need in order to make this the most effective is going to be as follows. So there are a couple variations, but I'm going to focus on the main one that has the most results that I've seen so far. So for that, we are going to be using the 5-piece. So we are going to need the Ring of Royal Grandeur. Just go down to my cube to show you. So we need the Ring of Royal Grandeur to reduce the number of set pieces we need by 1. After that, we are going to be wearing 5-piece. We're going to be wearing the helmet, the shoulders, the gloves, the chest piece, and either the pants or the boots, depending on what you want to do. We're also going to need the Captain Crimson's set out of the bounty caches to fill in some gear. So we're going to wear the belt as well as either the pants or the boots, depending on which items you get the better of. You might want to switch those between those. For our jewelry, we are wearing Endless Walk. So this is the Compass Rose and the Traveler's Pledge. So this combination is when we're standing still, we get the buff of dealing 100% increased damage, which is going to be fun for handy when we're standing at range. And then also when we're moving, we get the damage reduction based on whatever our stack is as we move around. Also, for the ring, we are going to use the Band of Might. So this is, of course, after we charge or ground stomp or leap, we're going to take reduced damage for 8 seconds. So because we're going to be charging, we're going to have that damage reduction. For our weapons, we are going to be using the 300 spears. So increase the damage of weapon throw and ancient spear by up to 200%. And then the attack speed of weapon throw is increased by 200%, which is why we're able to just spam. Also, we want Ariet's Law, so weapon throw and ancient spear deal 160% increase up to 200%. I guess mine's not that good at 158 increased damage, and then weapon throw generates up to 50 additional fury based on the distance to the enemy. So the further away, the more fury. The generator fury can go above the maximum cap to 200, and ancient spear refunds up to 50 fury based on the distance hit and resets your fury cap to its maximum. So basically, the further away you hit things, you can then throw also the boulder, and it's going to give you back some rage as well. After that, so for our vault, sheesh, wrong game. Anyways, for our cube, we are going to have Messerschmitt's Reaver in our weapon slot. So this is going to reduce the cooldown of our skills when we kill an enemy. This is going to help keep our Berserker, Wrath of Berserker on CD, and so we can keep that up at all times. And for our armor, we're going to use Scholar's Salvation, which increases the damage of Ancient Spear by 200%. And if your Ancient Spear Boulder Toss hits 5 or fewer enemies, damage is increased by 100% as well. And then, as previously mentioned, we're going to be using the Ring of Royal Grandeur to round out the set that we are going to be using. For the legendary gems that we're going to be using, we want to have Bane of the Stricken. So each attack you make against the enemy increases your damage against that enemy by a certain percent. It is a stacking a buff. So if you hit them multiple times, it's going to multiply that increase in damage. At 25, rank 25, you get 25% increased damage against bosses and Rift Guardians. So you definitely want to get that past 25. I have a 7 here. Apparently, my good one is on another character. Also, we are using Zai's Stone of Vengeance, so damage you deal is increased by X% for every 10 yards between you and your target, and it maximizes at 5 times whatever your percent increase is. So at rank 0 is 4%, which makes the max 20% at 50 yards. That does increase. And at rank 25, you have a 20% chance to stun the enemy for 1 second on hit. And then lastly, the trusty favorite, Bane of the Trapped. Increased damage against enemies under the effects of control and parrying effects by X%. And of course, at rank 25, it has a built in aura that does that movement reduction. So you get the benefit of it. So at rank 25, it reduces the movement speed of enemies within 15 yards by 30%. Although we will be outside of it from if we stand at max rage on the Zais. So you kind of want to be within that 15-yard range to get that bonus percent against your targets. Okay, jumping into our skills. So, primary that I'm using is weapon throw with balanced weapon. So, balanced weapon just increases our fury generated because we want to get to max fury before we throw our ancient spear, which is our next ability with boulder toss. It's going to then, so that is expend all remaining fury to deal additional damage. So that's why we want to generate as much fury as possible, cap it out, then throw our boulder. For our Furious Charge, we are using Merciless Assault. Merciless Assault is it refunds, well, actually, it doesn't, Merciless Assault, each enemy charge reduces the recharge time of the Furious Charge, but because of our set piece, we get all of these runes anyways. Then for Warcry, Veteran's Warning. So Warcry it increases our armor for basically 2 minutes. And then Veteran's Warning is also increases our dodge chance as well while active. Then we are also going to use Battle Rage. So it increases our damage and critical hit chance, lasts for 2 minutes as well. And then we're using Bloodshed. So gather rage and periodically unleash it upon your enemies. Then for our Wrath of Berserker, we are using Striding Giant, which take reduced damage while Wrath of Berserker is active. And then for our passes, we are using Boon of Balcathus, so going to reduce the cooldown of Wrath of Berserker by 30 seconds. Rampage is going to increase our strength by 1% for 8 seconds for each enemy that we kill, up to 25 stacks. That's potentially a 25% increase. And Animosity, our Fury generation is increased. Same with our Max Fury, because it's going to, which is what we want, because our Boulder Toss is going to expend our Fury. And then Ruthless, we're going to deal 40% additional damage to enemies below 30%. For the stats that we're after, so for our helmet, we want strength, and then we want critical hit chance, and then we also want our ancient spear. That is actually one of the items that we can get that on, so we want ancient spear on that. For our shoulders, we want strength, vitality, resist all, and cooldown. You could also swap out one of those for area damage if you're already pretty tanky. For our neck, we want elemental damage and then critical hit chance and critical hit damage. So the elemental that we want is physical because that's the damage that we are dealing. For our chest, we are just after strength, vitality, and either resist all or armor. Probably we would put a preference on resist all as strength is already an armor-based class. Just checking here because I wanted to make sure that the ancient spear wasn't on there. It's usually on 2 armor pieces, and I just was having a moment there and couldn't remember. For our gloves, we want to try to get quads. So that would be attack speed, critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and then cooldown. Those are the 4 main ones that we want, but if we want to choose 2 or 3, we want strength, critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and cooldown. For our bracers, we want physical damage, then we want strength, vitality, and max crit, so 6% there. For our belt, we're going to want strength, vitality, and then resist all would be nice, and then either plus life or I guess more armor plus life. It would be better than armor as we are a armor based class. For our rings, we are going to want our best ones would be critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and cooldown. And then anything on top of that would be like plus damage or strength. So that's what we want there. For our pants, we are going to want strength, vitality, resist all, and then also probably, yeah, I guess that's all we're going to get is strength, vitality, and resist all. I got slightly thrown off here by the fire resistance. And if you can't get resist all, then you could either pick life regen or the armor. I know that there is a chance to get resist all on there. If it's not on by default, then you can't roll it on. But anyways, then for our boots, this is going to be our other item that will have the ancient spear. So we're going to go strength, vitality, resist all if you can get it, and then you will want to roll on the ancient spear damage. For our weapons, we will want to get strength, and then we would want plus damage and then cooldown, or you can even roll damage versus elites onto one of them. But that's basically what we want. We want plus damage, high base damage, strength, and then basically, and then on one of them we would want to have damage versus elites would be ideal. For the rotation, we're going to want to first make sure that you got to charge in so you have the effect of the Band of Might, and then keep up your Wrath of Berserker and your Battle Rage, as well as your War Cry, your Veteran's Warning there. And then basically you want to throw your spears so you get max Fury, and then you're going to throw a Boulder. Oh, why don't I just jump into a Rift to show you here? So we're just going to jump in. It's only a T16, but anyway. So basically, so get everything up, charge in, throwing, and then you throw your Boulder, and that is basically what happens. So I'll try to do this again from a bit of range. So we know that they're up there. Throw it, build it, throw the Boulder, and boom, everything dies. And that is the rotation. So because we're going to be using the Zais, we want to be at range. So this brings us to the end of this build guide. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know below and I will do my best to answer them. And as always, we appreciate likes, shares, and subscribes. So please click those buttons and also keep coming back. We're going to be doing a ton of videos for season 26 here. So keep coming back and check out all our other build guides and all our tips and tricks that we have. So until next time, hope you're enjoying season 26 and we'll see you in our next video.